Hi everyone and welcome to episode 29 of Reputation Rescue at Lazio with me, the United City FM, and welcome to a really big episode, a double header, a local derby against Roma in Serie A and a second leg of a knockout game in the Champions League against Manchester United. So, first off is Roma. Let's check out the league situation just so we can see what's going on. You can see that we are currently at the top of Serie A with a game in hand over Milan, who are equal on points with us. And so if we can get a win today, that puts us clear of them by 3 points with a few games left. So we are looking fantastic to potentially have a title opportunity come the end of the season. I've been told lots of times recently in the press that we're almost at the point where we're getting a record points total and all sorts of things. So it's going pretty well. We've got a handful of games left though, and we've got to maintain it all the way through to the end of the season. And we've got a tricky game today against, as I say, local rivals Roma, who sit in 4th place and are fighting for that 3rd place position with Napoli. So yeah, they're going to want the points as much as we are today. We've got the second leg of our quarter-final in the Champions League against Manchester United. We're 1-0 down after the first leg. Bit of an unfortunate one, but away from home that was. Not a bad result particularly. I don't think Man United were particularly good either, but they managed to sneak a 1-0 win out of it. And so we've got that second leg coming up as well in this particular episode. And then the run-in for Serie A is going to happen after that, whether we're in the Champions League or not. So there's lots still to come in the last section of this particular campaign. But we have one other thing that we need to talk about. If we go and have a look in our tactics page, sorry, I was momentarily confused as where I was going. We got a couple of injuries now. Buendia is out for 4 to 11 days, the right-sided midfielder. So that's not too bad. He'll be back in a little while to put the pressure on Lazzari to keep performing. Mason Greenwood, on loan from Manchester United, picked up an injury in training and is out pretty much for the rest of the season. 2 to 3 months, they reckon. If we go and have a look, he's awaiting treatment for a fractured lower leg. So 2 to 3 months at the minimum is what he's out for. It looks like that's his season. Well, it doesn't look like it. It is his season done, unfortunately. We have got a couple of players that can play as a striker. We've obviously got Immobile, who's our number one choice anyway. Correa can play there. We could put Palombi up there, or Anderson can play there as well. So there are options, but Greenwood, coming in on loan, has done pretty well for us. 6 goals in 15 starts, an assist, and has been a good, able replacement for Immobile at times this season. So it's really disappointing that he's picked up a knock just at this particular moment in the run-in, but he's going to be out for the rest of the season. So that's that. We have to move on from it. So as I say, there's options in the squad that can fulfill that striking berth if Immobile can't, and we'll have to rest him at some point in the next few games, you would imagine. But yeah, we'll figure that one out as we get to it. So we've got the local derby first up against Roma. Other than those 2 players, Buendia and Greenwood, who are out with injury, there's a couple that are coming back from an injury, so there's a little bit of lacking in match sharpness here and there, but not too bad. Other than that, the conditioning of the players is pretty good. We've been able to rotate a little bit recently just to get them all some game time and all keep them as healthy as we can. So all of that means that for the first game of this episode against Roma, the local derby, we have Strakosha in goal, Felipe and Acerbe in central defence, Zappacosta at right back, Muru at left back, Gagliardini, Milinkovic-Savic and Alberto in central midfield with Lazzari on the right, Correa on the left and Immobile up top, and literally everybody else that's fit on the bench. So let's get into the first game against Roma in the Serie A and see what happens. So, of course, in the local derby, we've gone with, we're favourites here for a reason. Go and give the fans something to cheer about, put a performance on for them. It's all about the fans today. The local derby, Lazio versus Roma. We have the home advantage, even though we share this stadium, so it probably doesn't matter so much. But we do have the home advantage on this particular occasion. Can we make it count and keep the pressure on AC Milan at the top of the league? We have been rotating at the top of the league between us two for a little while. wow, what a strike that is from Kluivert for Roma, right on the edge of the penalty box. A right-footed blast of a shot into the far corner from where he looked at it. You can see he's standing there in so much space off the free kick. And the ball gets passed to him and he pile drives it into that top corner. And Roma, after 16 minutes, take a 1-0 lead. And all thoughts of what I was talking about before have gone out my head completely. This is something we now have to fight back from. That's right, we were rotating between us and AC Milan at the top of the league. That's what I was talking about. They get a couple of points clear, then we reel them back in and vice versa. So we've got to find a way to keep that pressure on them. Because if we don't, they're a really great side that are going to take this title away from us if we can't find the results. And so far in this game, it's been very, very disappointing in the scoreline. The actual gameplay itself looks as though we've been controlling it fairly well, but so far we haven't found the breakthrough. So aggressively, we're going to go in and say, come on, lads, show a bit of desire. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into the tactics page and we're going to switch up to the gegenpress. And we're going to see if we can find a way to break them down through the gegenpress and get potentially the ball higher up the pitch, win it higher up the pitch, and then get a couple of chances for ourselves. But it's on 45 minutes, just inside the second half. It's Roma on the ball down the right-hand side, and they get a chance to build up an attack. They take their time about it, which is nice play. They've moved it right the way across to Kluivert again on the left-hand side, but his shot goes straight to Strakosha this time, who handles the ball well, and we calm the play down. But it's Roma that have put on the pressure a little bit. You can see that the match stats still are in our favour quite considerably, but it's things like this that are causing us the problem. Kluivert next to ball, he's been a superstar for them today in this particular match so far. Down the left-hand side, runs half the length of the pitch, then passes it back into midfield, and they have another pot shot from distance, but this one goes sailing over the top, and we can breathe a sigh of relief on that one. But we might be having the possession stats, and we might be having the opportunities go our way a little bit, but the highlights are all Roma really so far. We had a chance there, but it didn't quite work out for us. We now got a throw in down the right hand side. Lazzari out there with Zappacosta taking the throw in, and Immobile with a pot shot, but the defender gets his foot in the way and blocks the shot nicely. But we pick up the loose ball. Muru down the left hand side tries to cross the ball, but it's blocked, and the rebound goes nicely to Zaniolo. And they come again at us down the left-hand side again with Kluivert finds the space. Again, he pushes it too far wide and has a shot at goal that Strakosha doesn't have a problem with particularly. But it's all about Kluivert down that left-hand side for Roma, isn't it, today? He's been fantastic for them, and we've had no answer for what he brings. Immobile loses out at the top. We went too long too early to Immobile, and he loses out, and Roma come back at us. But Lazzari nicks the ball on the header there, and Milinkovic-Savic on the ball, up to again to Lazzari down the right-hand side, cuts in centrally. Milinkovic-Savic, and Alberto finds Correa, and Correa can't quite put the chance away, and the goalkeeper parries it round the post for a corner kick. A corner kick that Alberto will take for us, and he puts it into that 6-yard box, and we win it on the edge of the area, but we can't quite get the shot away again before it's blocked by a defender. And again, we have a corner kick on the far side. Alberto will take again to the far post, and it's Immobile with a header, but the goalkeeper's not a problem for that at all. Gets hold of the ball quite happily and settles the play down. Goes into midfield for Roma, back into Kluivert. We get a foot in and win the ball this time. Lazzari comes away with the ball and cuts it across into central midfield. And we go back out wide right to Zappacosta, back to the defence. And we go long and lose the ball. We shouldn't have done that. That's not the style of play at all. And the defender threw it away there. And it's again Roma coming down this right-hand side, taking their time about it, onto the edge of the penalty box, get the cross into the near post, and we get a block on the initial shot, and then the ball falls nicely to the striker again. The goalkeeper dived for the first shot, an open goal, and Roma go 2-0 up. And we are going to have to do something about this now. So as soon as we see this highlight, we're going to pause the game and go and change some stuff. But it was a bit unfortunate, wasn't it? The ricochet came off the defender, fell straight back to the striker, and he had a second bite of the cherry and got it in because the goalkeeper was on the floor having dived for the first effort. So let's go to the tactics page. We can't do much more than the gegenpress, but we're going to go very attacking in it. But it's time to change some personnel. And let's see who we want to take out on this particular moment. Again, Milinkovic-Savic, all the way through this series, he's been so inconsistent. So he comes out for Locatelli to come in. And we've got Correa down the left-hand side. Brian Gill will come in for him. And really, we've got to take either Immobile or Muru. Muru's got a yellow card and a bad rating, but I don't really want to take a defender off. I really need to get something happening up front. So we're going to put Palumbi up there instead of Greenwood, of course. Can't play now because of his broken leg. So Palumbi, this is your chance to impress. Should we have been playing you all the way through? Can you prove that we are, really up for this game? Let's see. We've got 15 minutes left and we are 2-0 down. Can we find something? Very attacking we are now. Palumbi on the ball and he takes it down the left-hand side of the penalty box, holds up the play nicely, gets it back into midfield. We move it onto Alberto, onto Lazzari. Can we find a way to shoot? We can. Zappacosta, the right fullback, with a fantastic firebolt of a shot on his right foot. And we go 2-1 with 14 minutes left to play. Some good build-up play. Palumbi down the left-hand side, got it back into midfield. Alberto onto Lazzari. Lazzari out wide to Zappacosta. First time shot. Goalkeeper gets there but can't quite parry it round the post. And it goes into the back of the net. And we are back in the game with a few minutes left. 12 minutes to go now with the next highlight. It's us on the ball with Zappacosta in the defensive fullback position. And it's Locatelli. Wow. What an absolutely amazing shot that was from Locatelli from 40 yards out. Gets the ball at his feet, doesn't even think about what to do. It's a fantastic through ball there to Palumbi, wins the header. Locatelli brings it down with one touch and then pile drives it into the back of the net. And we've come back from 2-0 down to be at 2-2, still 8 minutes left of the game. Can we carve out one last chance and take all the points? We've got to be happy having come back, but one chance, maybe. With a couple of seconds left, we've got a corner kick. Alberto crosses the ball in. Locatelli with a header over the top of the bar. Minuscule margins at times, and it could have been all 3 points with that attempt, but it wasn't quite. And we come away with a 2-2 draw, but from where we were, we have to appreciate the player efforts, don't we? So we'll tell them that their efforts were exceptionally good, having been so poor in the first half. And the super sub, Locatelli, comes in and saves us the point. So let's go back out. And what we'll see with that, of course, is that having played equal games with Milan, that puts us 1 point clear. And it's going to be a close run thing for the rest of the season, isn't it? We are absolutely in there with a shout, but Milan are not going to give it up without a real fight themselves. So that's that for today, the local derby, the Serie A match. Now we have to turn our attention to the Champions League and Manchester United 1-0 down after the first leg. Can we do another fantastic comeback and go through to the semi-final? Let's see. Give me a second to get through to the match and then we'll join the action. So here we are for the second game of the episode, the Champions League quarter-final second leg. Man United 1-0 up after the first game. Nothing to tell you about between the Roma match and this. Nothing has happened in between the two games. So everybody's as healthy as they were before the first game that we played. You can see that Lazzari's suffering a little bit, so we'll have to rest him soon, but not today. It's a huge match, and we need all of the big guns out as much as we can. So, of course, Buendia and Greenwood miss out, but other than that, everybody else is fit. So we've gone with our number 1 11 as much as we can. Strakosha in goal, Felipe and Acerbe in central defence, Zappacosta at right back, Muru at left back, Gagliardini, Milinkovic-Savic and Alberto in central midfield, with Lazzari on the right, Correa on the left, and Immobile up top, and a bench in the Champions League of Vavro, Lukaku, Gelson, Gravenberch, Locatelli, Anderson and Palumbi. So let's get into this knockout game against Manchester United and see what happens. So passionately we've gone with United for what happened in the first leg, the 1-0 loss that we had away from home at Old Trafford to them. This is our home leg. Surely this one is going to get us a better opportunity to play well and dominate this game and see if we can go through. You can see that most of the big guys are there for Manchester United. They're a decent side, but I don't think they're unbeatable. Having said that, we almost lost a goal early in 8 minutes. But the goalkeeper came out, and what happened there? What's he given? Surely there wasn't a foul on the... Oh, have we given a penalty away? Oh dear, Felipe is accused of bringing down the player in the melee there. Oh dear me, penalty for Manchester United, not what we needed at all in 8 minutes, and it's Martial, and he puts it home, and they score an away goal, and that means now we have to score 3. Oh boy. This is going to be really challenging now, isn't it? So disappointing to give them a goal like that. We'd started all right. Strakosha, I thought, had come out and claimed the ball, but obviously Felipe had caused a problem in there. And we go 2-0 down. Oh. And now Correa has got a potential groin injury, and we have to sub him out. So Anderson will come in for him. This is going really badly wrong, isn't it? Oh boy. We've got to go all out, haven't we? We've got to go all out on this. So straight away we'll go just change up a couple of these roles. What do we want him to be? Let's put him on support. And we're going to have to go very attacking, just like we did against Roma. But we're going to have to see out this match playing this way now, probably. And it's going to be really tricky, isn't it? But we've got to go and do something. We're now 2-0 down. We've lost Correa to an injury. We've got to find a way to do something in this match. So we might as well give it a good a go as any and try not to lose too much face in doing so. But United are going to pick us off if we're not careful. So we've got to be good in defence. And there's a chance to get the ball off Bernardeschi. And they are 3... Well, this is not what we had in mind at all. After such a fantastic comeback against Roma, we are sinking without a trace against United. Bernardeschi comes in on his left foot onto Fekir, and he pile drives it past Strakosha, and we've got to score 4. Oh, man. Okay. What do we do now? Let's pause there again. We're going to go back into the tactics. All the tactics are out the window. We're going to have to change it up a little bit. We're going to put Anderson up top with Immobile. We're going to... What are we going to do? We're going to take Zappacosta off. And we are going to put in Gravenberch. I'm making this up as I go along. So we're going to put Gravenberch up here with Alberto. And we're going to put Lazzari in at fullback. And this is what we're going to play. We're going to drop Gagliardini deep. Actually, I'm not going to put Gravenberch there. I'm going to put him in there. This is what we're going to play. We're going to play the diamond in midfield with 2 up top. And we're going to go very attacking on the gegenpress. But we're going to potentially go even more direct. And see what we can get out of that. I am making this up as we go along. There's nothing else I can do, really. We've got to give it a go. So we might as well try something. And this is what we're going to go with until half-time at least. Manchester United have come here and we've pretty much handed it to them, haven't we? Gave them a penalty. We then got an injury for Correa, which upset the balance of our side. And then we gave them the second goal as well. Well, they took it, didn't they, really? And we find ourselves 3-0 down on aggregate at half-time in the match. Oh, boy. So aggressively go in there and say, absolutely terrible. I need you to do something more than that in the second half. Let's see whether that can G them up into a performance. But United have got to be loving this. Absolutely loving it. And they've got every opportunity just to keep the ball away from us and cause us all sorts of problems. Can we get anything from this match? Let's see if we can get a goal to start with and see what happens. But that was a poor throw-in. We're lucky to get the ball back into Alberto, onto Anderson, out to the far side of Lazzari, and he has a chance, but the ball is taken for a moment, and several shots later, having a decent block here and there by United, eventually it's Milinkovic-Savic puts it into that bottom corner. And we go 2-1 in this particular match and 3-1 down in aggregate now. And can we give ourselves a chance? Great blocking by the United defenders. But eventually we had one too many players there. And Milinkovic-Savic puts that ball in the back of the net. a glimmer of hope, but only just a glimmer. We've still got to absolutely keep moving forward and see if we can get any more chances. We're not, so pausing the game again, we're going to have to make a couple of substitutions now and see what else we can do. So we've already made a couple of substitutions. We've got one left to make, and we're going to take Immobile out, who's having a very poor game, and put Palumbi in again. Not ideal, but that's what we have to work with, so we'll do that and just see if we can eke out at least one more chance before the end of the game and just close that gap a little bit. But such a disappointing end, potentially, and pretty much accurately, to our Champions League campaign. Now, one chance here for a free kick, and we get another one back on the header on the far post from where the free kick was. A Serie with a good header. We've got a couple of minutes left to score 2 goals still. We could potentially win this match if we got another goal, but it wouldn't put us through in the tie because United have got those 2 away goals. No offside, so that's good. What a good header it was by a Serie. One more chance maybe to win the game, and it isn't there. And we go 2-2 on the night, and we go 3-2 down on aggregate, and we go out of the Champions League to Manchester United. Good effort over the course of the campaign, absolutely, and it's not something that we're particularly focused on. We desperately want Serie A, but nonetheless, still disappointing to go out. So we'll tell them it was disappointing, but overall, maybe it's a good thing in enabling us now to really focus on the league campaign. And what's Correa out for? 3 to 4 weeks. That's another big blow for us in the running, isn't it? That's going to keep him out for pretty much the rest of the season too. Oh boy, 9 million in the bank. That's good for the bank balance. Milinkovic-Savic on form. That hasn't happened too often for me particularly. But there we go. Out of the Champions League. A couple of 2-2 draws. Lots of goals in this episode. Little disappointing here. Great comeback against Roma. Great comeback against United, really. But not quite enough to see us through in the tie. So we go back into Serie A, and we're going to have to come back and play the play the Napoli game. They're right up in the top 4, and then we'll finish off the season with Cagliari and just see where we are in terms of the Serie A as we approach that final game. But there we go. That's it for today. A mammoth episode, a really challenging episode to get your head round. Some good stuff in there, but some really disappointing stuff in there where we were giving things to the opposition far too much. But anyway, there we go. Still fighting for the Serie A title, out of the Champions League now, but we continue marching on. So I hope you join me for the next episode. Thank you for joining me today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join my United City community. Click that like button for me, help me get seen by loads of other people. Until next time though, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.